Welcome back, gamers. It's time for the conclusion of today's minor league broadcast. My name is Pretty Hair, that's Score Miser. You've seen us once before today if you've been paying attention, and we're here to bring you the final set. Like we mentioned, everyone who makes it to the finals, just like in the Global Series, will be making it to the big boy bracket at the end of the month to compete for one of the top 4 spots for an actual place in the minor league competition that is then to follow alongside pretty much just the Premier League. All that stuff's going to be kicking off in about early March. Can't wait for all of it. This looks like a good one today. The minor league scene in North America has always been one that's a lot of fun to watch just because they get into it. You know what I mean? Yeah. They really kind of care a lot about this spot, and it's a great spot to be because this is the direct feeder league into the Premier League, which now means, you know, a trip to Atlanta for the permanence of the season, to live in a house with your friends, to get the salary, to get all the fame and all the glory, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm excited for them because we've ended up in this, I want to say, interesting scenario where a lot of the minor league teams tend to have someone who has participated in the PPL in like one way or another, right? They have a lot of like that information kind of leaking down from the top. So you're seeing this excellence, I want to say, come through in these teams that before might have been a little scrappier overall, now are a lot cleaner and able to kind of direct themselves exactly the way they want. Well,
let's take a look at the map screen and get into today's finals set. The bands will be Frozen Guard, Bright Mars, Jaguar Falls, Ice Mines. Splitstone Core will be map number 1. No Warder's Gate band out, so we may just see it. It's only a best of 5, and we're getting to the point where we have a healthy amount of maps to choose from, so I'm not holding my breath per se, but we'll see. Stacked like Pancakes versus Downfall, baby.
A lot that
can go right. Did we call them stacked, or did we call them pancakes? Because God knows I'm not saying stacked like pancakes every single time. Or maybe I will.
Maybe the more I say it, the more you say it, the more it catches on.
It's like Beam Me Up, Scotties, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot of words,
it just fits.
But it's a banger at the same time. And you feel good about it. Grover Koa, Torvald gone. Ash gone as well. Hefty frontline bands out here, Gormizer. Can you say you're surprised?
No, that's just the story. I think that's just Paladins in a nutshell. Is when you hit a certain level, frontlines are like, they're the most impactful without being the most impactful, if that makes sense. Like, DPS is still going to do, I think, a little more work, but you can't ban every DPS. If I ban Cassie, you're just going to pick Leon. If I ban Cassie and Leon, you're just going to pick something else to fill them.
Welcome here.
You can't replace Makoa. You can't replace Inara.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's an objective-based game where controlling space and being able to sit in said important space for longer than the enemy can sit in said important space tends to be pretty important here. Khan with the 100% win rate so far today. Bomb King, Leon picked through as well. Strong little duel. Leon, very, very decent little win rate there in the set prior. Fernando will come through to accompany Inara. Haven't seen a ton of him over in North America, but he was picked up a decent amount in Europe.
Yeah, he's in this interesting spot because of the loss of brand, which I think is a lot. Like, there were a lot of champions, especially pre-Season 2, where it was, your anti-heal is why we're picking you up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Without brand, people are trying to figure out what's the new Fernando. The same thing kind of goes for Koga, although the claw's got a big buff, so it doesn't matter that there's no anti-heal. He just has the damage.
Yeah, I guess they did. He used to have Koga had claw anti-heal, and no one ever really played him, except for me, of course, because I'm gigantic brain. But
like 5,000 IQ plays.
He got 50 more damage. I believe the claw speed got jacked up as well.
Yep.
On top of the fact that the talent doesn't do as much self-damage to you, but it was just like small little tweaks almost across the board, and got enough people. I don't think it was a bad build before, but I think all these little tweaks got enough eyes on the build and the new Koga to make him a valuable pickup, and we will see another Kinessa come through here today, which we have seen, honestly, 4 times now today. I mean, she has been a big staple, despite the hefty nerf to her very competitive talent from Season 2. The Headhunter still finding her way out onto the battlefield.
And this is a perfect map for a nice open area over the point. If you're looking at someone being able to kind of utilize that, Kinessa is going to be able to. And, of course, you're going to have a bunch, again, more team members, I guess, that you're going to recognize. Aspect is going to be over here joining Priz, Vayne, Dintic, and RC Soldier. A lot of players that have been around for a long time. And, I mean, this is getting to the point where all of the minor league teams are literally just titans clashing against each other.
This is a taste of what the Premier League is going to bring as well, when you have, you know, so many guys from so many different regions now bringing this flavor and the best of both worlds, so to speak, into a new environment. Khan looks like he came up just a little bit short with that commander's grab here. Skewer up to the high ground, but it won't save him. Edge him, dialed in. He finds the first 2 kills of this game, and stacked like pancakes. Is off to a rough start here on Splitstone Quarry.
And doing exactly what they need to. I mean, being able to take Kinessa out at that range, like Leon can do it, but you don't have the scope. You don't have the same amount of precision that you would have on the Kinessa. So being able to pick up those couple of kills is big for Edge. And of course, now you just put Shadow in the perfect position, right? He's going to get aggressive. He's in their face, and he has a King Bomb ready. He is perfect for this scenario.
What? Take me to the damage charts, Captain Anthony, because this man has got to be fragging out. He is doubling the next closest player. I mean, I'm looking at this fully charged King Bomb, and immediately the first thing I always do when I see an ultimate starts to be charged up this early in the game is I look at just where is everyone else at, because it gives you a good idea at this stage of the game of how much more effective that player is being. And I'm seeing 35%, 20%, 40%, and no one's even over halfway.
Right now, just then, from when he used that King Bomb to now, that's how long it took for anyone else to charge on it, like to get close to an ult. And that's on their team. Like that was his Leon, his Saris.
He's popping off.
He's doing his work. And again, Shadow, you've seen him play before. This is one of those, like him, Vayne, as well as I saw one of their other members, and I've already forgotten which name it was, that is on the side of Stacked Like Pancakes, that have participated in the Premier League. They were right there. They were ready. I feel like they were right, being able to get to that point that they would be the next tier of players, right, to come through to get pulled up. And it just happened that it didn't work out that way for their split, but I feel like they're just right on the cusp.
And I love to see this. I talked about this a little bit last week, but when you have Edge and backdoored. That's a big yikes. But also a big PogChamp, depending on what perspective you're looking at this game from. I love me a good backdoor. It's so rare in Paladins. I mean, he gets it done, though. Incredible stuff. What a whirlwind of a start for Downfall.
How many crystals do you think that Cuss is going to have to give away? Because I remember like a week ago, he said that if Edgem's team got first rounded, he would he'd start an 8,000 crystal giveaway. How many do you think he gives away for Edgem getting the first 2 kills and backdooring in a round?
Man, I don't know. That's a hell of a conversation to be had.
He's just chilling.
With the point, too. It's the perfect emote for that situation there. Oh, I love it. I love it there. Great stuff from them. And back to the point I was trying to make before I was so rudely interrupted by that sick backdoor is the fact that it's great to see guys like Aspect and Shadow shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they struggled in the PPL. They didn't have a great run. And now, instead of just quitting and giving up, a lot of these guys, they kept their heads up. They come to the minor league and they show everyone, like, look at how good we actually are. It just really puts into perspective the strength of the talent pool in general in the Premier League. When you can make players like Shadow and Aspect go winless through a season, it really, really opens your eyes, I think, to how good some of those PPL teams are.
Now you're in this position where they're showcasing their talents, albeit not on the same squad anymore, but Shadow is comfortable. Already used a King Bomb this fight, about 50% charged back up on it. Has a convergence ready. I don't think Stacked Like Pancakes has been able to spend more than maybe 10 seconds on this point without just getting damage dumped into them. There's no safe space for them to stand, and that is
dirty.
Perfect. He takes out Priz too. This is clean Bomb King play.
That's without any help, and I was just about to hit on this. Is he's paired so well with Khan. In Season 2, it was because of firing line and Bomb King just doing the rest. But now it appears as though it's Vortex grip, and again, big brain here. Evan and I were doing this the other day when we were queuing on stream. Remember, we were running the Vortex grip Khan, the chain reaction Bomb King.
Yeah.
And you run around and you just blow people up because it's the freest damage you could ever ask for.
This has to be probably the most insane we've seen Bomb King in a while. Mainly because he wasn't there around a lot in the fall split.
No,
but
he was banned
all
all season.
The way things are going, like, this is why he has been such a staple, especially at LANs, but just for any Blaster player, whenever Bomb King isn't available, either he's banned out or something, like, he is game-changing for some of these teams.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Here comes the Cyclone Strike from Koga, and the Immortal will deter any further aggression, but Shadow times it perfectly. The second RC Soldier's Immortal falls off, all the bombs detonate, the damage goes out, and the kill will fall. 120 on the clock, tries to reposition, But Dintic is on his case, gets overpowered across the map. No follow-up there. Gonna pop the Enlightenment off, and Edgem actually has enough damage to get it done.
Gets 2 kills right there,
Props
looking to potentially make it a 3rd. And this time it won't necessarily be as much of a backdoor. I feel like Stacked Like Pancakes are going to watch as this payload starts moving forward, but this is pretty dominating so far from Downfall. There's a couple of plays that could be made to potentially stop this, but I'm not sure they have it in their playbook.
Dintic has been dead silent this game, and it's tough. It truly is tough to call, in my opinion, when it's these 4-0s like that. It's tough for you to take that step back and say, was that our comp? Did they just pop off? I think it's a little bit more of their comp allow them to pop off, because when you have something that's so easy as Vortex Grip into Bomb King, I mean, Shadow's a hell of a player, and he showed that with a couple of great individual isolation kills like that one on the Kinessa. But he wasn't making it very hard for himself with the Khan in front of him. He's got nice little burst healing. He's got a lot of peel and a lot of easy setup. So that's just an easy, clean clap 4-0 on Splitstone Quarry out of the gate. Last set we saw go 4-way one way, 4-0 the other. So I'm not counting anyone out yet. Both these teams definitely deserve to be here. We'll take a look at the post-game stats. I think we kind of know where this is going. It's a lot of damage for Shadow.
And I do want to give shout-outs because I think Edgem did a lot in order to create that space for him, just because of the way he was able to find kills on Kinessa early on, not having to worry about that scope, not having to worry about the presence that a sniper could bring to this fight. Shadow could then just get aggressive. Khan can just get aggressive. There was nothing really to shut them down at that point. So the push and pull of their range plus, I guess, in-your-face shotgun Bomb King worked perfectly.
Bomb King and Khan, I've said it for a long time, it's one of the strongest 1-2 punches in the game. Khan is a great little guy to bodyguard, an already pretty potent damage champion, covering up what little weakness there is. When you throw, he can be so tanky. Normally he's sitting around the 2400 mark with King's New Cloak and whatnot. But you throw in that 1000 burst heal, I mean, it's pretty much game over. Imagine seeing in the patch notes, Bomb King has 3,400 health.
Oh, jeez.
You know, he's basically Barrack.
He's better Barrack, but better.
Better Barrack. I mean, any character in the game is better Barrack, in my opinion. But anyway, moving on. That's neither here nor there. Map screen coming up at you. It'll be Serpent Beach, where we head to a very, very convincing 4-0 victory in game number 1. I mean, the young Pancake boys.
If I'm looking at a map,
they said they were stacked.
I guess 4-0.
They're looking a little soggy right now.
Splitstone's not like my list of 4-0 maps. Serpent,
it's not on anyone's.
Serpent's in that area where it's like, depending on the teams, if you have this, if Downfall play the same way, it's going to be over in about 6 minutes. But Bomb King, a very warranted ban, so he's not going to be here this game. They figured it out. Although I don't know if it was entirely him, it definitely helps to just get rid of that. Khan is not the threat. It is always Bomb King behind him.
Yeah. And the Inara definitely struggled there. Ash bringing a lot of aggression early on. I didn't feel the Koga was super impactful again, but it was less about the Koga and more about, you know, the Bomb King sort of popping off and having his way with that game in general. The Koga wasn't shut down entirely. He still got a decent amount of damage out there for how quickly and how sternly his team was defeated. Koa Khan is a great way to start off pretty much any draft. Ash Maldamba, not weak, but I'm certainly leaning the way of Downfall yet again out of the gate.
And Leon, I need to see what Stacked Like Pancakes can pull with this, but again, it kind of feels... This one's always one of those interesting picks because it's a, did you pick it because you have a really solid Leon, or is it because Edgem just kind of spanked you a little bit with his Leon? You need to scoop that away from him, and now potentially he just goes onto the Cassie. There's enough that can replace. Again, this goes back to what I was saying about banning DPS earlier. You ban a Leon or you take a Leon, it's still a Cassie who pretty much fills the same role.
Sure, and now I'm in a spot where I'm wondering what the round-out pick is for Downfall here.
Whatever they want it to be.
I was going to say Pip because Shadow ran it very, very effectively in the last set here on Serpent Beach. And they've picked pretty deep into the pool here of Edgem and Shadow. They have the Leon, they have the Pip, they banned away the Bomb King. Cassie's already selected, likely for Edgem. And Maeve is going to be hovered here. Serpent Beach has always been a decent map for her, but I don't really, it doesn't really scream Shadow to me. Evie definitely does. And he had a great game out on Fish Market last set.
You got to see it then, and then again, this is one of the ones that even though they didn't get to showcase it as much in the PPL when they were there, it was still solid EV play. It was just against teams that are such, again, at a high caliber to the point where you make even a small misstep, and they're going to make it a glaring mistake. This is a perfect area to showcase not only your Bomb King, but maybe how solid your EV is, and this is, like you said, a very solid map for her. A lot of little avenues for her to kind of blink in, blink out, and stay safe while still maintaining high ground.
I don't love the matchups, though. I don't love Eevee into Leon.
Yeah, oof.
I don't love Eevee into Pip. Much tankier than she is. Doesn't have to be as accurate with these blaster-based shots. Has a great ult, like the second Eevee blinks in, she's at risk of getting Evil Mojo. I mean, there's a lot for Dintic and Priz to do to make Shadow's life difficult. But again, that's the 5th and final pick. It's not countering anything really hard. It's really this Khan and Makoa that I think Downfall need to be winning the game off of anyway. So if Shadow just does fine, then they'll be in a good spot.
And as of right now, you can see Khan Makoa. This isn't going to be like the standard, we're going to send Inara to the point and then we're going to fight you on the side 4v4 and just gain percentage. This is, we're going to run you down, we're going to kill you, and we're going to show you why you never let Khan and Makoa end up on the same squad.
Well, they got the high ground, but so far no one has died here. 48% for stacked like Pancakes, but Downfall is in control for the time being. Now that may change here pretty quickly. First blood has already fallen. Both these frontliners still pretty healthy. Shadow finds the return kill to even things up 1 for 1, and they'll even up the capture point as well.
Being able to find this, I think it goes back to earlier. Shadow, if he has an okay game, it's going to be fine for his team, but I think if he has a phenomenal game, if he can even just make it a good game, it is going to just give them that step forward. If Eevee, like a good Eevee, just causes so much trouble.
Yeah, she's definitely difficult to deal with if you're on point. Nice little hook there, edge him. Jay and Shadow all combining to grab that kill. 87% on the objective here. Downfall in control. The kills continue to go their way. Nice blink to the back line here, taking some damage from the auto aim. Wasn't able to claim the life of Leon, but does enough to force her out, and that will be a Downfall capture.
Being able to pick it up, Wormhole, being able to blink forward, blink out, as well as have the Snowstorm. I expect potential aggressive plays coming down, but as of right now, it is going to be Dintic kind of pushing out Shadow, keeping control of the high ground, and there's going to be the kill, but not the one Shadow expected.
2:08 on the clock now. Downfall in a spot to keep rolling here. Dintic could shut it all down at any moment with the Evil Mojo. Tries to get it off there, but gets hooked out, and Jay having to play without CC immunity on his ultimate. It's going to be a much tougher matchup for him than it once was.
It's always an interesting, I guess, pickup when you have to deal with that, when you have to kind of take that into account. A lot of these players have gotten used to CC immunity in certain areas and having that. And Nara, I believe, is the only one who's really retained any of that. She still has it on one talent. But running into certain fights before is Makoa, easy peasy. Running into fights now, you have to have that, not necessarily second guess, but you have to understand what you're committing to. Yeah.
You got to be aware. It's not as free as it once was. Still definitely a potent ultimate if you can get it off at the right times. 48 HP into the ice block. Narrowly dodges that shot from Barrack there. Will be healed back up to full HP, but it's Eevee. You're up, you're down, you're all around. And you got to be careful every step of the way.
The shots so far from both teams, like there's just enough not hitting that
yeah, I hear you.
The payload's been moving, but it hasn't resulted in a lot of kills, right? There's not a ton of accuracy. Now Pip going to be able to kind of just pelt into Khan, but has to worry. Here's the Makoa. Vayne does finally find the kill, but Dintic, Priz trade their lives out for it. Is it going to be worthwhile? No, because Makoa is just going to get aggressive. He's going to look for a healer kill and then just go right onto the payload.
Ooh, a lot of shots missing there from Jay, so he's going to have to back off. Unable to claim the life of the support. That would have been a great way to get this push on through. Barrack, a little bit isolated here on the objective for the time being, but the longer the defense is able to hold, the more likely is it that they will just get reinforced and win this war of attrition. Here comes the overpower, and my man has been on point with those all day long.
Being able to find it now, they're just going to go storm of bullets to the face. Of course, you don't necessarily need that. Shadow picks up the kill. There's going to be a nice toss. Again, leading into a kill. Probably the easiest follow-up you will ever have as a frontline player into a successful push. Downfall.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Commander's Grab into hook, into overpower. Like, they could move somebody clear across the map if they really, really felt like it.
as of now, Barrack. Actually kind of surprising me at the top of the damage charts. Cassie, Eevee, a little bit further behind. Not too surprising to see Leon up there, but I mean, Vayne is putting in the work, even though so far he's kind of lackluster. Again, 1, 2, and 2. He's not the one who should be putting in the work. He shouldn't have a phenomenal slash line. His damage should be up there, but you're looking at Priz, you're looking at Dintic not quite having the game they want. One going into Wrecker 2, the other going into Cot 2. They have a little bit more work cut out for them. The Cot is going to be way more effective. I'm not sure the Wrecker was really the right call, even though there are some annoying shields to deal with.
A lot of options for you to go in the item store now because you're not restricted one per category. You grab as many as you want, up in the air, down in the air, but ultimately it's the Dread Serpent that shuts down Shadow. However, enough damage is done so that Dintic's life can be claimed by someone here. Great Enlightenment will find 2, but will the lives be claimed? Here comes the Assert Dominance. It's a great way to try and shut this all down. Does end up killing Saris, and Edgem will die before it's all said and done. So all things said, a worthwhile little exchange for Stack Like Pancakes.
Pretty sure that was a turret kill as well. Barrack not looking at him in that kind of scenario, but being able to use comeback mechanic, capture this point at a faster rate is 99 to 3. Eevee doing her thing, trying to keep this in overtime as much as possible. But there's going to be the evil mojo, and it's going to be perfectly in time to stop Jay from touching down and causing any more trouble for the team.
That's the way that goes sometimes. I mean, they had such control of the map. They had ultimate still up. They had the overtime rolling, forcing Downfall to try and get onto this objective. Definitely a lot to deal with and just too much to fight back from. If they're fighting back from those types of situations, then you can pretty much call this set over, but it is going to be the war continuing here. Game number 2 for Downfall. Despite a strong start, they fall short on the objective fight in the next round here, and could go either way. I wonder whose map pick this was, though.
There's a lot of.
I have to imagine it's Stacked Like Pancakes.
It feels like it would be. I mean, this is
I hope you're not getting 4-0'd on your map pick.
Very, very solid composition for Serpent as well. And like it seems like they went into it with a plan, not only to maybe scoop away from what Downfall has in their arsenal, but also, I mean, Pip, Leon are just really good here. Unfortunately for them, Shadow and Edgem are still stepping up to the plate, still knocking it out of the park with the way things are going. Unfortunately, it's not the, I want to say, cleanest kills that they're going to get. It's definitely not as clean as it was for them last game, but they don't need it to be. As long as they can hold it this way, they're going to find themselves up 3-1 in a minute, but they just have to keep this at bay for that long.
Well, as the saying goes, in a Serpent Beach minute, anything could change. So you got to make sure you're keeping your toes to the ground, your ear to the streets, lest you lose control of what you thought you had. Downfall have a couple of ultimates online here if they want to continue to hold this defense. Stacked Like Pancakes also have that question posed to them. Shadow is really paying a lot of attention to this Barrack at the moment. Good shots are landing. His Blink's going to be back up. One more shot confirms the kill, but he himself needs to check himself. He falls down to some pressure from Edgem from Priz far away. Shadow and Edgem managing to get a lot of good damage out before they do lose their lives.
And that's kind of the trades you need, right? You have two teams that you know are both accomplished. Downfall obviously started off with a very strong first step in this set, but Stacked Like Pancakes, especially at this level, you are used to taking losses and victories like it's nothing whenever you scrim, right? This is that area of how well can we regroup and go for it, but unfortunately, they seem to be kind of taking in stride and missing a little bit of this Eevee. That was a beautiful stun from Aspect, though, to lock him down and cause some havoc for Downfall.
A lot of healing coming through on this Pip Dintic. Gets caught in a really awkward situation, but the boy is just staying alive here. Cue the Bee Gees, unfortunately falling there before it's all said and done. Convergence is up and available as well. A lot of peel coming out from a lot of different perspectives, depending on how you're looking at this fight. Overtime is started. Downfall trying to hold on here and just score another point on defense. But Stacked Like Pancakes still with plenty of resources to spend. The Dome Shield, the Enlightenment ready to go, and they're going to go all in for this. But Goremizer, it does not look like it's going their way.
I mean, they lost their healer. That's going to be a big one. They just lost their second healer in Dintic, even though he's not going to be maining that damage. That's just going to be another source of being able to stay in this fight gone for them. Doing whatever he can. Vayne is on the front line. This is where he's used to being. This is what he's used to facing. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's doing enough. But they've bought enough time that RC Soldier has respawned and made it back in that little, well, for a little bit of that time. It took him just about as long to get there as it did for him to stay on the actual objective.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't in that situation
Yeah.
there. I'm surprised that Stack Like Pancakes committed the Dome Shield there, given they had already spent 3 ultimates. Things were not really looking up for them in that fight. Shadow found a couple of critical kills there about halfway through to make sure that it stayed in Downfall's favor, and now they're going into this 3-1 round. Enlightenment's the only thing up and available versus all 5 ultimates from Downfall. This is the time to strike. I mean, Downfall are in a really good spot to put this game away.
Pretty sure we have a term for this kind of scenario in a game, and it's just yikes.
Yeah.
You're in that position where, again, any small mistake, you don't even have to make a mistake. They can force you to make a mistake. One good convergence pulls you out of position. Anything that Eevee can do, getting into the back line, causing a lot of havoc. Like, there's so much that can go right, so much that can go wrong.
That's a good start.
That is one of the things that can cause you a little bit of hope on the side of Stack Like Pancakes.
Well, comeback mechanic is in play. Off to a nice little 31% start. The hook lands, though. The shots miss from Eevee. This pit, he will not be able to stay alive, though, when it's all said and done. Ice Storm is available. Shadow has found his target, or has he? Into the ice block he goes, under some big pressure now. Gets a nice juicy heal. Still looking at this Barrack, but hasn't committed hard to anyone just yet.
And much like last round, really focused on Vayne and on Barrack, just trying to keep him locked down. And so far, it's been better for the team. He's not been able to be that impactful. That's going to be a glorious kill. Gets the emote afterward as
Toxic.
well and goes for the reset. Now there's just 3 easy targets sitting up on the balcony, and he's going to be going.
Huge.
Edge picks up 1, but that's 2 more that are going to be easy to take down.
That's really, really big damage there coming out onto the high ground. But it's 99%. Close, but not close enough. Stack Like Pancakes have an opportunity here to come back. 85% and climbing. But these frontline ultimates are still available. 93 to 99 with the Ancient Rage coming roaring in. Another overpower misses, though, Gormizer. We have to pay attention to that and make note of it as this Ancient Rage continues to surge forward. Finding kills into the Evil Mojo. It's enough to take down Makoa. Double kill will find the healer. Is this the choke down the home stretch? Downfall had this game in the palm of their hand. But it is Stack Like Pancakes who appear to have fought back.
I'm going to give a lot of credit that is due to Dentic right there. That Evil Mojo hitting exactly what it did. Not only having an overpower miss just beforehand, but being able to hit that right as you fall out of an Ancient Rage, right as you're starting to see Makoa potentially turn this around and kill Barrack. You save the day, save the front line, keep things rolling for your team, and then you set it up for Priz to come in and just hold Eevee at bay, hold everyone else back no matter what. And that was the exact kind of timing you need in order to make sure that you can stay ahead. Although at this point, you're still down 2-3. This is still looking for a push just to tie the game.
To me, it's 2 missed overpowers there, man. You really, really got to hit those. And we've seen all day today pretty much that they've been pretty on point. All types of players have been hitting all types of overpowers. Some of them even maxed out distances. Not a problem there. Finally gets one, but it's at far less critical of a time in this game. Would have been on the point. I mean, that's a free kill anytime you hit it, pretty much. So 2 missed free kills. Oh, Ancient Rage did fine. I think it got full value. Even though he got Evil Mojo'd at the end of it, he was like 10% HP anyway, so I think he was going down one way or another. That being said, room for improvement here for Downfall.
Meanwhile, Stack Like Pancakes are starting to, I think, hit their stride. It feels like that first game, pretty much exactly what you said right afterward, where it was just like, there's not enough time to figure out, was it our comp? Was it just the way we played? Was it the fact that they popped off? Like, what happened in this game that went wrong? Doesn't matter. It's done. Now they are showing what they have. And while there's still a little bit that's kind of missing, that they're almost there, they're just warming up to that point. A beautiful Dread Serpent logs down Shadow, and this is the kind of play, the team play, you need in order to take down Downfall.
I mean, I think Resiliences should be in the future here if they're not already. Let's take a look at the items here. Because there's so much CC for Stack Like Pancakes. Shadow doesn't have any of it, so that's why it made me have that thought. But Jay's picked it up, T-Mac has picked it up. I mean, when you're playing against Assert Dominance, Dread Serpent, as well as Evil Mojo, it's nearly a no-brainer. That's 3 enemy ultimates that are going to be, you know, having the CC. You've got Maldamba stun, you've got Ashe knockbacks, you've got explosive flash slows, you've got all kinds of things in the base kits as well. Resilience is a very high-value pickup for Downfall here.
A lot that can go right, and unfortunately, they don't quite have the itemization they need be able to control that. They're still pushing. Overtime's going to get started. And that was a beautiful erasure of Team Akpei, going to go down almost immediately afterward. And this, I mean, this is clean cut. This is exactly what they needed kind of at the beginning of the game. If they could have had this right then, we might be looking at potentially a 4-0 in the other direction. Stacked like Pancakes have definitely stepped up.
So close. Like we said, Ancient Rage wasn't quite as low as I think I thought, but still a good evil mojo there, and so many kills from Priz when it's all said and done. Plenty of damage on the board to boot. Ultimate situation looking pretty good for Stack Like Pancakes. 77% on Enlightenment. He'll have that up fairly quickly. A little bit more worried about the 48% on the Dread Serpent. That's a quick charger, but Dread Serpent, you want it early in the round when everyone's kind of stacked up, moving around together, and you have the opportunity to hit a lot of people with it. And Downfall's ultimate situation is looking almost identical.
My eyes are on Khan. I mean, 95%. He's going to be able to get that. A couple of shots are going to lock that down. Can he hit it this time around? Is it going to make that big difference, or is it going to fall just a little too short? Does finally get the grab, and it's on Dintic, so it's a very high-value target as well, and that's a beautiful start for the fight.
That was a long-distance one. The redemption grab from as he heads onto the objective now. With an opportunity to seal this game away, Shadow Source up and over. Dancing around the Siege Shield here. Very, very close calls in the backline. Ancient Rage is pop as well, trying to get this kill on Leon. And they will do just that. Ashe is forced to pop her ultimate too. Gormizer in a really precarious spot, but she knows if she doesn't pop it now, that might be her only chance.
Everything they need is exactly what they have. Dome Shield still available, though. Might be able to get in, set that down on the point, but Vayne is just getting corralled. Shadow will not let him leave this corner and feel safe.
I mean, that's just perfect zoning from Downfall. They're forcing all of these fights so far away from the objective in such awkward places on this map, forcing enemy ultimates in situations that they don't want to pop them. But again, if you're not popping it at that point and you die, you're just saving your ultimate for next game at that point. You wouldn't have had a real opportunity to do anything with it.
I mean, everything they had, especially towards the end, hitting the overpower obviously showcases what it has. No evil mojo over there, no pip to give any extra heals, no extra damage. Like, that start, imagine that around earlier, and the game's over just a little sooner.
Well, let's head to the stats and see who are our biggest winners and biggest losers of game numero dos. We had a lot of people breaking the six-figure mark there. Edgem, Shadow, Priz, and Vayne all being one of them. Added some close calls there with RC Soldier not far off the mark either. Big stuff from the healers as well. You're looking at T-Mac rocking the 236K, almost 100,000 above the next closest healer. Aspect certainly nowhere in that neighborhood. I think there was a couple of rejuvenates built. You obviously have some highly stacked tanks here. Makoa and Khan were moving together a lot, so that certainly helps pad those stats. Morale boost is picked up by Saris. It doesn't matter if it's padding or not. If it's effective healing, it's effective ultimate charge going into those casts of convergence. So great stuff there from Downfall. They need one more to seal this set and to seal their seeding for these North American finals. We'll head to the map screen and see where we go. Stone Keep, the triple S, Split Stone, Serpent Stone, stacked like pancakes. See what I did there?
Everything works, although S-Map's not working out for them. Maybe they're trying to stick too hard with the S theme.
Yeah.
It's not going too well, although again, loser's pick, this is where they're going to be kind of guiding everything to go. Assuming that last one was theirs, they did well on it, but there's so much, I guess, not necessarily even left to want. There was just so much that went right, and then just they couldn't fight back against Downfall. They get rid of the Bomb King, they get rid of the Grover, but I feel like this is opening Downfall again for their pretty much dream draft, being able to grab Khan, then take a flex tank, and then grab whatever they need. The only thing they don't get is the very last counter pick.
Can't argue with that win rate so far. I mean, the only 3-digit number up on the screen there, except for Barrick's 100% pick rate. He's rocking and rolling here today. Damba gets snagged early as well. So Stacked Like Pancakes obviously feeling good about what they had going for them here. Another early Maldamba pick. As Grover's banned out, he's sort of like, last season it was Ying. She was like the priority healer if you can get it. This season it's definitely Grover. Every other healer I think is just serviceable and doesn't need to be highly prioritized. Torvald Koga makes it through though. This is a combination that can absolutely run away with a game, and I hope Stacked Like Pancakes know what they're doing by letting it through.
And I'm not sure why, but in my head, Stone Keep is just a perfect Koga map. So you have a Torvald Koga on a map that Koga's going to be really good on anyway.
Yeah.
And while Barrack and Nara, they're going to be maybe a little bit more difficult to cut through, you have Cassie, what you can assume is going to be one more squishy target on the side of Stack Like Pancakes that he literally, like, you could probably run in with just these 3 and still feel pretty comfortable and confident in a successful win. But you grab a Genos, add a Luminary on top of that damage, then you potentially put a Pip in there.
They're
for
going
extra
all in
heals.
on it, man.
I mean, it might be a little too heavy-handed on the healing, but it's 4 protect 1. Keep Koga alive.
They know who wants. Yeah, they know they want to carry the game this time around. I do like Stone Keep. I agree with you there for Koga. There's a lot of cheeky stuff you can do. We've seen today how important that fight for the balcony can be, and he doesn't have to go through the meat grinder to get there. He can just climb up a wall and kind of hop over. You can hop over the bushes. You can do some cheeky stuff with shadow stepping out and around on the map and climbing up on near an enemy spawn. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with Koga's wall climb passive ability on this map. Now, Stack Like Pancakes have drafted themselves not a very mobile composition, but one that can, you know, move very, very effectively. Obviously, blowing up these shields is going to be very important when you're looking at the Torvald bubbles. So the Vivian is certainly up to the task of doing that.
And being able to bring that Sapper rounds is going to probably be her talent selection. And it is specifically for popping the bubble. You get rid of Torvald bubble on Koga, and you get rid of Torvald's buff on Koga. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily do anything against the Luminary. That's also more than likely going to be finding its home on top of Koga's head. Edgem, I think also one of the first players we got to see pull out a Koga when he was first released or first available. So there's a lot that is going really well for Downfall, but it does come down to teamwork and if they can give Edgem the lead he needs. They're playing a game called Mr. President.
Rocking the treacherous ground as well. Going to be able to slow down this Koga fairly significantly. Here it goes. All in now. The Torvald bubble, the Luminary bonus damage. This Koga is going to be swinging hard. 748 without the Torvald bonus. Gets blown up, though. It's all on Aspect. He lands a beautiful stun on the most valuable target on Downfall's composition. And down they will fall.
And that's like, we see drafts like this every now and then. We don't see it as often, I want to say nowadays, but every now and then you get a draft where it is all in on Edgem. And if Edgem goes down, you really don't have a backup plan. Pip can maybe do a little bit of work. Genos can put in some damage. Khan can put in some damage. But they're not going to carry the game the way that Koga can in this kind of scenario. They have to have him do well, and they have to have him in the forefront. And unfortunately, once that first kill comes through, it doesn't seem like he's got his footing.
Yeah, it's tough when you know, there's definitely a weakness to playing just so painfully predictable on Stone Keep. Like, yeah, we're gonna just forehead our way up to this balcony. You can still fight for the balcony, but you don't have to try and fight through treacherous ground, the wall, the stuns, all the damage that's coming down that hallway. Go downstairs. Go out and around onto the objective. There's no one anywhere else but up in that hallway. And if you're just going to W key down the hallway, I get it that you're confident with this, you know, Luminary field study, all that yada yada. But you still have a Nara there. She still just throws at the wall. She can throw down this big cripple, big slow. It's too much to control just to fight through exactly where they expect you to fight at.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset potentially seeing Edgem go for something. We've seen this in the past, but not in a long time. Grab
that's big.
Master Riding. Of course, doubling it up with a nice Evil Mojo always makes things way easier. This is what they wanted. Hot knife through butter.
Yeah. He's hitting hard now.
He's looking for a Penta.
He's probably going to get it too. The Void gripped Barrack. Barrack's just staying alive too long for this Penta, and they're going to stagger the kill out just a hair, but it's still a 5K for young Koga. And that's the thing that this draft is supposed to do, obviously. No duh, Nick.
That's your perfect scenario.
But here's the thing is, like, that doesn't really fall off later into the game super hard. And it's something that could really just happen at any time, which is why it's so scary. And which is why that despite how flat on its face it fell in that first engagement, I think Downfall is still mentally fine. Because you get one of those pentakill engagements and you're like, that's the way this is going to happen. If Edgem can get any semblance of momentum, any kill anywhere at the field, and he just runs away with the game. Now he's just like ripping through cat. This is the way it's going to happen every single time.
And admittedly, it does come down to, especially in the future rounds, if this goes 2-0, comeback mechanic plus this kind of play, means that it's going to be easy for them to pick it up. But as time goes on, I was actually going to say maybe he gets a master riding. Maybe he loops around, gets a bubble before engaging in the backline. He obviously can melt down the Moldamba, the Vivian, the Cassie, no problem. And then you avoid having to deal with the Inara up front. You are perfectly fine. But he's gone in for a Wrecker and a Cauterize, which both of them are going to be beautiful pickups.
Yep,
and admittedly, in this kind of area, burn down barrack shields.
It's a great mid-round buy. And then when you've got Shadow throwing in free kills as well, I mean, this is a dream come true. And another thing that Koga leverages so well is that flanker, like, killing blow bonus that he can get. He's going to be getting so many of these killing blows this game because his team has gone all in on his damage and his ability to survive and just stone cold Steve Austin his way through these team fights without a care in the world. And that's what it turns into, especially when you have evil mojos to play around, you have overpowers to play around, you have the potential pick from through time and space. There's so much that could get Edgem started and get him a little bit of momentum where he can fight in a 4v5 or 5v4, excuse me. That again, despite how hard they got owned in that first fight, I think they're going to be just fine.
You can see his loadout, very focused on staying alive. Harsh Training 2 kind of enables that, but it's all Wind's Embrace. It's all Criminal Record. 25% lifesteal while in Dragon Stance, and then 100 health a second while Agility is active. You are keeping yourself alive. Then you add on a bubble. You add on the Luminary bonus you're getting from Genos with the healing from that, and potentially from Shadow, and like, you're covered.
This is fine. That's all I wanted to see. Just literally take a step to the left or the right. Just don't be in the doorway, like, where they can't miss you straight up. And this fight, it should go fine.
All I could see when you said that was stacked like pancakes. They're the dog in the burning house. This is fine. Yeah. As Koga just completely obliterates us and we have nothing to do. We cannot control him. We cannot cage him. It is out of our control.
Shadow does a good job there. Hits a decent-sized Evo Mojo. I can't remember if Genos connected with his ult, but it came out as well. All easy adjustments to make for downfall. And they'll be in a good spot here. Edgem picks up Vayne. You can see Khan is extremely low, but doesn't die when it's all said and done. And I actually want to talk about, he's running at one point, it's like 10% reduced time to get into claws. I almost, especially with a build like this that's so, or that's this focused on his success, I want to see him run that card that's like you get ultimate charge for every kill you get, because I feel like that is really where he's going to be able to leverage that card like a crazy amount. And it's a decent 1-point card to have. I mean, that right there, it's 4, 5, 6% ultimate charge that he's able to get from the damage he's putting out.
Edgem has used the SMGs more than any Koga I think I've seen in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, because he's not afraid to. He's not afraid
to whip him out.
Right. Yeah. If you're dumping all your energy on the occasional tactical skewer, then you got to do what you got to do. Plus, Shadow Step is such a good ability in Koga's kit, and you can only use that in SMG stance.
As it is now, though, I think it's suffice to say that he does a lot of damage. And, I mean, anybody, I think, if you put him in that role, is going to be able to fill that amount of damage. But Koga is making it look clean. Again, Hot Knife meets butter. And unfortunately for Stacked Like Pancakes, they are buttered up. This is a double kill, looking to be a triple kill, looking to be more, as he's just aggressive in their face, outside their base. There's nowhere that's safe.
And it's a lot of damage, but the most important thing, as we see him swing for a 912, yikers, my dudes, is that it's not hard to hit. It is an extremely fast, extremely large auto attack from these claws. It's just so powerful for how easy it is to hit, and that's the biggest thing about it. You know, there are a lot of high DPS characters in the game, you know what I mean, that hit very hard, that can hit very fast. But at the end of the day, when you've got a player like Edgem here, who can hit most of his shots. I mean, he's known for his aim. He's known for playing a lot of Andro in last season. The kid can certainly aim, but when you allow him to just like turn his brain off and like he doesn't even have to really think too hard about aiming because the autos are just so large, he can think about his health. He can look at the battlefield. He can see, okay, these guys are over here. This has been used. Maybe I go this way. You don't have to, you know, tunnel vision quite as hard with Koga. At least in my experience, because I feel as though these autos are just incredibly easy to hit.
I mean, it's exactly what it looks like, and he's going to be able to bleed through a couple of members there, although it does get pushed out. And this was a nice adjustment, I feel like, from Stack from Pancakes. stacked like Pancakes. Unfortunately, they were stacked up like Pancakes, and I feel like that might be their downfall. That's 2 kills picked up right there, and they didn't even need Edgem for those 2. He's over here harassing once again Vayne, keeping him locked down like it's nothing.
They've just got too many answers right now. I mean, that fight didn't go so great for them. Then they just con-ulted and got a free pick. You know what I mean? And they still have 3 more ultimates. They almost have an evil mojo. Things don't go their way. They're fighting into a big grouping. Shadow's just going to hit a multi-man evil mojo. Clean that up. Time and space comes through. T-Mac gets a kill. They've got too many free picks to mess this up. They can't mess this up. This comp is just too easy to execute. And it's still high octane enough to win these fights.
And we've seen, like, the game started out showing it how this kind of comp can fail, and they just haven't let it. Downfall have not fallen down anywhere, as they just give it to them. I mean, that was just clean.
The moral of the story is that
Koga hurts?
These are yeah, sure. That's chapter 2, but chapter 1 is like these are some of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Sure, but everyone makes mistakes. Everyone misses shots. The easier your composition is to execute, the more likely you are to do well with it. It comes back to like eerie presence, like, you know what I mean? That card that you reset. It doesn't matter if you're the best Maldamba in the world, you're gonna miss some of those, right? And if you can just look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm just gonna make this easier on myself, right? I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna hit everything, but I can make this easier on myself. And that's what I felt about that comp. Everything was just so easy. They're not gonna mess any of that stuff up. You know what I mean?
And it's in that position where, and like you have said in the past, like not Koga, Edgem specifically can aim. We've seen him play Androxus to a beautiful showcasing. You put him on Koga, again, easier shots, but he's doing a lot of damage. He's getting Torvald bubbles plus a Luminary. Like, he's the full buff. He is every time throwing an auto that will hit you for 1/3 to half of your HP. Like, it's never going to feel good. If you're Priz, if you're Dintic, I doubt you ever really felt like you had a chance to win the 1v1.
Big credit where credit is due as well. The Shadow, he played phenomenal throughout the day. Played phenomenal here as well. 68,000 damage on the pip, despite all of the attention. The prettiest girl at the ball was certainly Edgem and his Koga. He still manages to hit a lot of clutch evil mojos to get things going for his team and do a ton of damage to boot. Despite Edgem being the guy that's, you know, running rampant, and the man himself will be MVP. Edgem played beautifully there in the last game. Had one bad fight, but that was literally it. He ran through that team on Stone Keep, and of course he hit so far the hottest backdoor, maybe the only backdoor of 2019.
And honestly, that's something you don't get. Even if you, let's say like you have really high tier players against really low tier players, you don't really see backdoors often.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get to that part of the map without being
noticing.
Seen from somebody. So impressive in that stance, and then just really solid aim through the entire time. Cassie, Leon, and of course, the demonstration we just saw of what Koga can do when given all of the right moments. And why Torvald keeps getting banned.
Yes, sir. It's a big part of the equation there. We saw Koga early in the set without Torvald as well, and it didn't succeed very well at all, but they had so much. They had the burst healing from Khan and Pip for emergency bailouts when they needed it, which wasn't very often because Torvald bubbles are mitigation in their own right. They were able to use Janos completely just for the heal. I mean, it's perfect. Perfect composition, and you saw it. Unless they failed miserably, it was 99% chance of success with that composition. They did an incredible job drafting that, put themselves in a great spot to win, and win they did. Congratulations to the boys. We'll head to the bracket, give you a quick little look again at this day. Remember, both these teams will be moving on when it's all said and done to the finals, but Downfall do take the higher seed out of this week. For the 3rd seed overall, 1st and 2nd seed were the finalists from week 1. 3rd and 4th seeds are the finalists from week 2, and yada, 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 so on and so forth. Week 3 will crown seeds 4 through 8, I believe, and then in our 4th and final week, if this is following the PGS format, that's when everybody just kind of squares off, and we figure out who is going to be our 4 participants in the minor league for both EU and NA. An exciting time to be a Paladins esports fan as everything is getting spun up for the biggest and brightest season that we have ever had. The Premier League is just around the corner. The minor league starting is just around the corner. The console league is just around the corner. Everything is brewing up to be an exciting year for you guys. Thank you so much for watching here today. My name has been Pretty Hair. That's Goremizer. We will be back with you guys for week 3 of the qualifiers next Monday. Until then, stay beautiful, friends, and I'll see you all next time.